Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verses 11 to 20.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा वेद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलम् रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम् सत्त्वात् सञ्जायते ज्ञानं रजसो लोभ एव च प्रमादमोहौ तमसः भवतो ज्ञानमेव च ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तोऽमृतमश्नुते
Deepraj. How can we explain that death is because of the exhaustion of prarabdha vasanas when we see that death has an external cause? Example, terminal illness, accident, etc. Deepraj, actually, your question would stand more basis if you said, how can you say that death is because of prarabdha vasanas? Because 1,000 people died together in an earthquake or in an air crash or something like that, right? If it is individual, at least you are giving me an easy ball. Give me a difficult one, no? Right? How did they all die together if it was prarabdha vasanas? Because I also had that question. If it's all prarabdha vasanas, how are all these people dying together? Then they should all have their individual times, right? So if it's, you can explain terminal illness, okay. So some cause will be there, right? For any death. Yeah, so more difficult we'll take, okay? So how is it that so many people die together? You know, like Latur earthquake, or maybe the war. War may be easy to explain, but in an air crash or something like that. How is that even possible? Okay, so the answer to that was, which always amazes me, because you think of all these questions and you think that these are like unanswerable questions, and there's already an answer written and given and all that. The answer to that is that at any given time, there are an X amount of people dying. Just as at any given time around the globe, there are an X amount of babies being born. There is nothing phenomenal about that. There is nothing to remark. The only reason it seems remarkable to us is because it happened in a particular geographical location. So all these things are anyway irrelevant, because your proportion of, you know, at a certain time, so many people on the globe are going to die, will always be there. It's such a boring answer after you think of a good question, no? Sometimes it's irritating. So you think, oh, really good question. This will defeat that theory. My teacher used to tell me, I know you're a lawyer's daughter, but you're not going to catch me that fast. So that was the answer. That it's not an abnormal phenomenon that people are dying at the same time. This is happening anyway. So there is nothing remarkable in this.
Okay, that will explain why the multiple people are dying. In one case, we just perceive it,
Yeah.
that they're dying instantly, but actually it's happening all the time. So there's nothing new about it. But what about the situation where this person is just going by their day and a car hits them? Right? It just somewhere out of a car hits them, and we say that he died because the prarabdha vasana is over. How is the prarabdha vasana connected to a random car hitting him?
Okay, so there are people who have been hit by cars in really bad accidents and haven't died. And there are people who have been hit by something freak, like very small, and they died. There are people who have, I remember as a child, and this maid, she was hanging clothes or whatever on the third story of the building, not our building, the opposite building. She fell and did not die. And there are, I mean, third story, she's fallen out. And there are people who've fallen, just slipped on the road and fallen and died. So it's not universally true that in that type of an accident, every single person dies. So how are you going to explain that? And it's not universally true also that if you have cancer, you'll definitely die. If you had COVID, you'll definitely die. If you met in an accident, you'll definitely die. If you were in an air crash, you'll definitely die. There are survivors of air crashes also. So how are you going to explain that? So that shows that besides that external cause, there has to be something else. Now, what explanation will you give? Vedanta has given the explanation of prarabdha vasana.
But there will be some things. For example, if you throw a person in a volcano, no matter who that person is, he will die. So,
but he may not fall in the volcano, though you tried to throw him in. I mean, all sorts of freak things happen. If it is true, then Bond should have died 100 times. People have done anything to Bond. He stays alive. None of this is universally true. And therefore, we find something else. Now, what is that something else? That is left to your discretion. People with like 70-80% burns have survived. People have survived acid attack. Horrible thing, acid attack. Horrible. Survived. So there is something else. There is another factor. Now, what is that other factor? You think about it.
thank you. I will.
Is Ishvara the sum of individual vasanas, Mamita? Yes. I tell you, people are so disappointed with my answers. It's just not funny. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, Mamita.
No, thank you. I said thank you. That's what I meant when I was saying collective vasanas. I should have put it as a sum of vasanas.
Okay. Right. Oh, Mahesh?
Yeah, again, continuing Momita's question. So do the collective vasanas result in an avatara being born? Because Krishna has said yada yada shi dharmasya sarvai
How many
jnale
times,
bharata.
Mahesh, you have studied that verse in 20
Yeah.
years? It must have come any amount of times. So no, collective vasanas cannot be the cause of any individual's birth, because individuals put together make the collective. It's not like there is a collective bunch that is doing stuff. The vasanas that made Mahesh exist at all is that particular bank, whichever Mahesh has created in previous incarnations. Maybe he was, I don't know, Rupam in the last Janma. So Rupam did whatever he did, and then that converted to Mahesh. Or maybe kangaroo. I mean, there's no saying you had to. So whatever you are, kangaroo, Rupam, whatever in the world you were, that became Mahesh. There is no collective. Like whatever Momita has, or Deepraj has, or Bhavna has, or Milind has, is not influencing Mahesh's birth. Okay? So then how do we say, this is clear, right? So up to this point.
Yeah, that's great.
So then the question arises, how is it possible that he makes a statement like, I will be born when this desire is there? It is not that the self-realized person will be born when somebody has a desire. He can only be born because of his own vasana. Can't be born otherwise. I mean, not self-realized person, a great sage. Can only be born out of his own vasanas, nothing else. Then what does that sentence mean? It means, see, at any point, great people may be around us, but they will manifest their greatness only when the situation comes about. For instance, Krishna was with Arjuna. Krishna existed then, right? He didn't open his mouth, he didn't teach anybody anything, nothing happened. But when this whole situation of the war came, then his true colors came out, how he handled that whole situation, how he resurrected Arjuna, right? So when the situation arises, anybody there will take up the mantle. Anybody who has noble values will take up the mantle and do the job that is required.
Okay.
In a very small way, look at how the trust itself functions. How does this institution function? Some job is required, right? So books have to be published. So Momita takes it up. It says, okay, I don't know whether I want to publish books or not, but it has to be done, so I'm doing it. You don't know when you took up sending out mails or doing the IT work or anything. You may be interested, you may not be interested, but that job had to be done. So since there is some dedication to the cause, you take it up and you do it. Now we should start a research wing. So Deepraj and Bhavna have taken up and said, okay, let's do it. Now they personally may not even be interested in क्यों भाई मेरा सिर खा रहे हो ये research के साथ, but वो जरूरी है, so we are doing, right? Or even setting up the university. अब क्यों सिर पर ये सब बोझ ले ले हम लोग, but it's necessary, so we are getting together and we're doing it. If we want to improve the society, we'll have to do this. If you think so, you will work for it. So it's not just about the self-realized soul. It is like whenever a situation arises, somebody who's capable of that or is dedicated to that will take it up and do it.
So are you saying that there are great people, maybe self-realized? This refers to self-realized souls, right? Yada yada Sri Dharma says self-realized. So there are self-realized souls there, and when a situation arrives, one of them who's in that situation will take up the mantle to handle it.
Yes, there may be. Not there are. There may be. Like now, for instance, let us say the situation is not so bad. So there may be somebody sitting quietly in their own home, living their normal life. Like, what is that guy? I always forget his name. Manji? What is his name? Manji. Now, he was sitting happily in his own home, but a situation came. His wife died because of something. And he took this. So, two qualities are required. One is some unselfish intent. And that intent makes the unselfishness even grow. So it may not be that you're great to begin with, but you take it up and you become great.
But the Yadashi Dharma says is referring to self-realized person, right?
Yeah, you can say that. It's not like there are different rules, right? The same principles apply across the board. If it's a small thing, if it's something in your family, you don't need a self-realized soul to deal with it, right? You will deal with it. Or any reasonably mature person will deal with it. But that reasonably mature person will not doing something spectacular all the time, right? They are living their normal life. It's true both at the relative level for us and all the way up to the realized soul. All of Vedanta is like that, right? Otherwise, it will become so useless for all of us because we are not realized souls. So what are we gonna do with this knowledge? It's true for everybody at all times.
Okay, I'll think about that because I thought, I am born with each time, so that refers to some I. I thought that would be referring to the self. I just thought uh, it had to be a self-realized person. But
No, you can say it like that. I am born means, you can say it like that. I am born means wherever there's the principle involved is wherever there's a demand, there's a supply. That is the principle on which it's working. I am born, you can
okay,
say it. I am manifesting means the purity is manifesting.
okay. So again, I mean that situation arises because there is a dharma in society, right?
A need in society.
Okay. A what?
A need in
A
society.
dharma, a need in society. Okay. So that need is not connected with the vasanas of the people there, I suppose. I mean, people, yearning for someone to deliver them from adharma. That is not so. I mean, it just happened. I mean, in that sense, that's what I thought, that the need comes because of a large section of society wanting to, have dharma in place.
Correct.
I just thought that was maybe the
That is
reason
correct.
why.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so in
that is
that
correct.
sense,
Mahesh,
okay,
that is correct.
okay,
When that need is there, he will manifest his greatness. He's not born because of that need. There may be
yeah,
a
but there has
self-realized
to be a
person and there's
self-realized
no
person
need.
at that point. Okay, but there needs to be a self-realized person at that point of time, right?
No, Mahesh.
The
Same thing you're
need to
going
be
on and on.
fulfilled, no, the need to be fulfilled requires someone to fulfill the need, and that need is due to the society's dharma. I mean, so just to clarify, this person need not be need not uh, need not be a self-realized person who fills the need. So this, yeah, the other dharmas can apply to a non-self-realized person, but someone who has the ability to fill the need. Is that in summary in what you're saying?
Yes.
It need
Has
not
the
mean
ability
need a,
or the dedication. Like
okay,
9 out of 10 times, ability is not the criteria. It is just the dedication to make something happen.
okay, yeah, that's fine then. And just one question: when you talk of sanchita vasanas, are you referring to if which are my sanchita vasanas determine my personality? Because vasanas are supposed to be the cause of your personality, or does it also refer to karma that I may have to sort of face? Does is karma also part of what we call vasanas? Because you sort of uh,
महेश अभी मार मिलने वाली है. What
I
is
mean, I know you
use English words? What is karma? Use the English word.
action, yeah,
Right. Where is action coming from? All
from the
actions
body,
come from
the body of
Desires. Vasanas.
desire. Okay, yeah,
so
thought, desire.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mahesh, if you ask questions like that, people will think your teacher is very bad. Abhi tak
okay,
pata nahi, karma comes from vasanas. When they say karma, it means vasana, thought, desire, action, the whole rigmarole. So you have to resolve your karmas means you have to end your vasanas. That's all it means. There's just people who do not go into the philosophy but just pick up words. They'll say, oh, karma, there's the law of karma. And that law of karma is going to get back to you. What is all this supposed to mean? It means if you create a particular type of vasana, you will create a particular type of thought, a particular type of desire, a particular type of action, and therefore a particular type of,
result,
Result.
consequence.
you know, all of this.
No, but what I meant is
Resolve
that,
your karma means what?
okay, so there is no thing that you have to sort of, there's no, I mean, the word karma, I mean, in philosophy, You can't use one term scientifically because it's all sorts of different meaning. Like for example, yogi, the way Krishna uses yogi is a million ways. So in that sense, karma also others some say that you have to face the consequence. The karma comes back to you. So you have to face as you do so you reap. So you sort of have to face certain consequences. Say you're born
I'm saying no,
disabled.
everybody
Okay,
says, nobody
you're
says.
born disabled.
Mahesh. Everybody agrees on that. Nobody disagrees. You will have to face the consequences of your karma. Is known to all and accepted by all. I don't know anyone who disagrees with. When you have a particular type of vasana, what does that line mean? It means when you have a vasana, you will have that type of thought, you will have that type of desire, you will have that type of action, and you will have that type of circumstance, situation, result, your external world as well. If you have very selfish, very self-centered vasanas, you will think like a very selfish, self-centered person. What will be your mental state?
Agitated.
What will be your physical state?
I don't know. I mean, it can vary because you could be agitated, but you could be quite healthy and fine. You could be disabled. I mean, it doesn't have
healthy, not like that. Physical state means what kind of actions will you do? You will do selfish actions. So what will be the result of your selfish actions? There will be a resistance from the world. People will balk at this. So what is your experience? People don't listen to me. People are not good people. Your world will be negative to you. Your world, or Vedanta's word for it is your experience, will all be negative experience. Now you want to get away from negative experiences. Now what will you do? You will purify your vasanas. Then your thoughts become better. Your mind becomes unselfish. Your actions become unselfish. Your world becomes like you feel it's all good world here. It's all wonderful things. So you have to exhaust your karma, means the nonsense that you have trained yourself to do, the wrong mental impressions that you've got, you have to get out of them. Otherwise, that cycle will go on forever.
Yeah, that's fine. That part is clear, and that depends on your personality. Yeah? I mean, but what about things like born into a poor family, you get an accident and become lame. You're born lame due to you're born disabled. You're born blind. Things like that. Are they karmic consequences? Is what some people say, but we are not buying
all
into
of
that.
us are saying that.
Okay.
Everything that has happened to you is the result of what you have done. You are now assuming that if you were born blind or were physically or any challenge you've had, it's somehow very bad for you. This is your assumption that, oh, you're born visually challenged, so you have done something wrong. I have been born with good eyes, I have done something good. And those of us who are wearing glasses, we are somewhere in the middle. Itna bhi bura nahi kiya aur itna kharab nahi kiya. Okay. So that is all rubbish. These are all human constructs. They've got nothing to do with causation. Causation is, should I say, it's like if there is hydrogen and water and oxygen, it will become water. Now, water is very good for you. Water is very bad for you. Oh, I'm dying for water. I don't want water. All these are human constructs. This is all superstition. Superstition is a human construct. Causation is very clear. You have done something. You have got something. Now it's not like you're not free. You're still free to do whatever you want. Like that boy, remember? The one who's born without hands and legs. He may be having a better life than you and I. He's enjoying his life. He's doing productive. People are appreciating him. And why is all that happening? Because he was born without hands and legs. Same thing we go and say, nobody listens to us. Now he doesn't have hands and legs, so everybody says he's great. What is he saying any different from what his Vedanta treatise says? Vedanta treatise is so boring and that guy is so fun. Right? So these are human constructs. You're born in a poor family, so you did something bad. Says who? People born in rich families may have done something bad for all you know. So human constructs and all speculations. Causation.
So are we saying it's okay? I mean, it's equal if you're blind, born disabled as when you're born able. Like, are we saying that that's the same thing? It's just how you look at it. Is that what we're saying? That it's okay.
No,
okay, fine.
I'm
You're
not
disabled.
passing
What's the
any
big deal?
human
Okay.
No judgment on it. It may be good, it may be bad, it may be whatever. But who are we to say this? We are not saying equal, unequal. These are all human constructs. This is the result of an action. It's that simple. Now, is it a good result, bad result? This is all human construct. Is it equal result? All human construct. Get away from all these. These are not philosophically tenable ways of thinking or yardsticks.
So how are you born disabled? What was the action that caused you to be born disabled?
Mahesh, how can anyone say, why were you born with this color of your skin? Can we answer this question? Why were you born to your parents? Can we answer this question? Can anyone answer this question?
Some say it's karma.
Karma
Some
is action.
No, I mean, okay, fine. If you have...
Now don't go on and on. You listen to the answer and accept it or reject it.
What action caused disability?
How would I
know?
What action caused you to be of this skin color? How should I know? How does anyone know?
But is there a cause effect of my skin color depending on what action I perform?
Of course. If you're going with this theory, either you don't go into your skin color. You go with the theory. You're a philosopher. You go with your theory. Do you believe that there is a cause and effect relationship? If you believe there's a cause and effect relationship, do you believe or agree that the cause must be from me? That's step 2.
Okay.
If you accept that, then the theory will be across the board. If you don't accept that, then whatever your theory is will be across the board.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, fine. I mean, I just don't know. I can't see the cause effect of skin color or whatever it may be. But so we just say we don't know why it is, but that's it. It's some cause which caused the effect of my skin color or whatever.
No,
which we don't know, no idea what it is.
No, you must either accept causation or not accept causation. If
I accept causation. All I'm saying is that do we have a concocted reason why I could be disabled, or we just say we don't know? That's it. Okay.
We don't know. So we don't know. Okay, we don't know what is the cause. We don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know any of these things. Okay. All we know is there's a cause. How do we know there's a cause? In everything that we do know, we see a cause, and therefore we assume that all the things that we don't know also have a cause. All the elephants,
which we can't really figure out, but we say there's a cause.
Don't go there. I say elephants have trunks, right? How do I say elephants have trunks? Have I seen every elephant on the surface of the earth? I do a process known as generalization. Since all the elephants that we have seen have trunks, we assume that all the elephants have trunks, including the ones we have not seen. It is called generalization. It is a way of anuman. So you are making an inference that everything has causation based on the fact that whatever you do see and you can understand has causation.
And we say at this point that we don't know what it is, but there is a cause of which we have no idea. Okay.
That is immaterial to this discussion. Scientists will find that causes over a period of time. Somebody may find something. That's not the realm of philosophy.
Okay. So essentially the idea that you are born disabled is wrong because of karma done in the past is not actually correct, but we don't know the cause effect. So we say, oh, that's how it is. I mean, that's what it says. I mean, to say that you are like punished for your karma being born disabled, we say it's a human construct, and the cause effect is not clear what caused it, but yeah, I mean, something caused it for becoming okay. That's fine. I think if I'm right, that's what you're saying, right? That we have a cause effect, but we don't identify what it is. So okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now let me go. Sutapa. Is there something like Sanchita Vasanas? Sorry, I'm new here. You need not be sorry, Sutapa. Even old are still doing the same thing. So you can continue saying whatever you want. Is there something like Sanchita Vasana? So Sutapa, rule one. How long have you been attending the class? Can I see you? Let me see if I can see you anywhere. Are you there?
Hello. Hi, it's actually my first day.
Oh, very good. Yeah, welcome to the class. So can you switch your video on or not?
Yeah, I can. Just
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tapa, is there
Yes.
something like Sanchita Vasana? So when you, since it's your first day, let me go into some little theory, which is please use English terms. Because
Okay.
half the problems in philosophy occurs because we go about using all different languages.
Mm-hmm.
So Sanchita Vasana, what does that mean? Sanchita, the word Sanchita means total.
Mm.
So are there total? So your question is there something like total vasanas?
Mm.
What's your answer?
I think you explained that there is
No,
nothing
forget
like
what I said. Are there total vasanas according to you?
if going by the definition of vasana, which is kind of what I understand it is like a mental impression or like a desire, then there cannot be a total desire. There is an individual one. So I
What
don't
do you
think there
mean
is.
like that? Total is your total, your personal total.
Oh, yeah, like my personal total. Yes, that exists.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's that simple. Philosophy
Okay.
is the easiest subject on the surface of this earth, okay? And Vedanta is the easiest of them all. It is so simple, this subject, you can say it in 3 words. Which other subject can you say in 3 words? So it's very simple. But just keep 2 English terms and then that becomes easier. So is there something like Sanchita Vasana? Means, do I have total desires? Yes.
Yes.
Simple, right? Can
Yeah.
unresolved prarabdha just not transfer to the total accumulated store? Let's get back to English. Can
Yes, this was, I think, in response to what Deepraj was saying, because he was talking about how like, during death people just can die like, like suddenly. So I was just thinking if prarabdha is something which is influencing the current life, and then if that process gets disrupted because of an accident, then like what if that just transfers onto the total store? That was kind of my question.
total means personal total.
Yeah.
So that's obviously what will happen. If you have left any desires unfulfilled, then, I mean, they were in your total and they'll continue to be in your total. It's like where do you stay?
Currently,
Mhm.
I'm in New York.
So you're in New York. Suppose
Mm.
you take some money out of your bank account and you come to Mumbai, right? You come to Mumbai with the intention of finishing whatever money you took out and you came here. You took out some money and you came here and you were happily spending your money in Mumbai. But you got a call from college saying you better come back because this has to happen now.
Mm.
Now, the money which you had intended to spend in Mumbai, what happens to that money?
I'll have to go back. Like I cannot
Right?
spend it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So that total which you have continues to exist. Whatever
All
you
right.
have spent, you have spent. Whatever you haven't spent is still yours.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
So when you just say it in English, it just becomes simpler.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the terminology, which I think the other question was like for me, so I'm like a psychology student, and I feel like in psychology, I just wanted to ask you, like, I'm new to this, but I wanted to ask you, are you like, I just wrote this in the comment section. Does Eastern philosophy firmly posit that effects of emotional, psychological, and spiritual health manifests into the physical body? That is like energies at the subtle level, like at the level of the subtle body, does that sort of like accumulate and become denser and solidify into the material, into the physical body? Is that the notion which exists?
Yes, yes, it does. However, the way you put it makes it sound quite poetical. It sounds like something maybe you would believe, or maybe something you wouldn't believe, and then
Mhm.
all that. So let's not go there. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so Sutapa has a certain personality, correct? When Sutapa goes to sleep, what happens to that personality? You're sleeping. Where is
Yeah,
its interest in psychology? Does it still exist? While
I
you're
think
sleeping.
I mean, I'm not consciously aware of it, so
Right,
it's out of my consciousness. But
right.
maybe it exists somewhere. Like, what if I'm dreaming about it?
Okay. No, you're in deep sleep. You're not even dreaming.
Okay. Okay, so for that, I mean, at least from my conscious point of reference, it does not exist, let's say.
Right. So instead of saying it, if you take a stance, it does not exist, then when Sutapa gets up, it comes right back.
Mm-hmm.
So since it was there before sleep, and since it is there after sleep, we assume it was there during sleep.
Yes, yes.
But still, as you're saying, you're not consciously aware of it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
It's not very complicated, very simple. So Sutapa's interest in psychology was there when she was awake. She went to sleep. We don't know what happened to that interest. Then she got up again. Her interest in psychology came right back. So we have assumed that it has to be present when she was in deep sleep. Okay, so this interest in psychology, the state it was in when you were in deep sleep, is known as a vasana.
Okay.
So an unmanifested desire is a vasana. An unexpressed desire, an unmanifested desire, an unconscious one.
Okay.
Isn't that? So is a vasana, right? Now, since there is an interest in psychology, when Sutapa wakes up, what is going to happen? First, that interest will manifest in her as a thought,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just a thought, something about psychology. Then those thoughts will repeat and become desires.
Mm-hmm.
Those desires will strengthen her, that will take her from wherever she was to New York, because she's going to do something about psychology in New York,
Mm.
right? Or if you were already in New York, then to college in
Mm.
New York, whatever it
Mm.
is.
Mm.
So it makes your body move.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the environment that you will find yourself in is one of other psychology people or other people interested in this. So this unmanifested asana, or that unmanifested desire, results in the kind of thoughts you have, in the kind of desires you have, in the kind of actions you perform, and therefore the results, circumstances, situations, all of this is the solidified form of that
Mm-hmm. Yes.
vasana, unmanifested vasana. I'm
Makes
just
sense.
repeating what you're saying, but I'm only trying to take the
Yeah,
poetry
the
and mystery
poetic
out of
thing
it.
out of it. Yeah. So would you say like I won't take too much of your time, but just in the end, I would like to say like would you say like for example symptoms of a lot of let's say like diseases or like a lot of let's say especially diseases which are extremely stress related, gastrointestinal stress related and stuff like that, or I don't know. I just feel, I mean, I was curious about this because at least personally, I've noticed that in my life that uh, my body's very sensitive to my mental and emotional state. And it really reflects in my physical body. It's very heavily tied to how I'm feeling. And I feel like, so, and I think like, at least in psychology or in, in the US and things like that, they kind of do not necessary they are interested in understanding the unity between the mind and the body, but a lot of the times they view diseases as just malfunctions in the brain or something going wrong in the body, and do not really think that the mind has the capability to shape the body as well. But I think that, like, I was thinking, but maybe I think in our like ancient, like in our like Indian knowledge systems, there this notion does exist that your mind does have the capability somehow to different level of to different degrees to influence the physical aspect as well. I don't know.
Okay, you are in your mind repeating what you know, so it has become a little difficult to absorb what was just said. Remember,
Okay.
I'm going to repeat that again. Vasana
Yeah.
manifests as a thought,
Mm.
manifests as a desire, which makes you do a particular action. So
Right.
you have a vasana for something, a painting, get a
Yeah.
thought of painting, you do get a desire for painting, okay? You do the action of painting. That action of painting will give you many consequences. They may be physical, they may be mental. Since
Okay.
you're staring at the easel, let us say, all day, or at your screen all day, you may develop eye problems. Or if you're holding your mouse in a way or a paintbrush in a particular way, you may develop a carpal tunnel or something, right? So the way psychology looks at it is that as if it's just you felt something and your body did something. You fell in. That's a very narrow way of looking at it. It includes it, but it's not restricted to it.
Hmm. So do you think there is a way of us trying to be aware of our vasanas? I mean, I know that it's by definition not manifested, so it's kind of difficult. But do you think that there is a way for us to connect with these underlying
Yes,
tendencies?
of course. Because they're manifesting. Now, the moment they manifest, you know them. If you
Okay.
develop an intellect, you are conscious, you are objective towards how your personalities function.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Prakash, can we say miracle has happened in such accident survivor instances? We can say anything, Prakash, but when you say miracle, it usually just means I don't know the cause. Either you deny causation, or when it's an unexplained thing, you say, I can't explain it, but there has to be a cause. So, one of these two stances you have to take. Okay? Sutapa. The direction being emotional, psychological, spiritual, manifesting in material, physical. The direction being vasana, uh, intellect, mind, body, environment. We might be born with unique dispositions to have different experiences and learn different lessons. Yes, we are all born with different vasanas. But ultimately, we make our own experience. I mean, ultimately or otherwise, we make our own experience. Everyone is living in their own world. Even in this class, everybody is living in their own class. It's not like everybody is attending the same class over here. Everybody has their own whatever going on. Some people are in the class. Some people's body are in the class. Some people's thing is on, but they have disappeared somewhere. Some people are saying, oh my God, I'm learning so much. Some people are saying, oh God, when will this conversation get over? Each one has his own experience of the class. Right. My experience of the class is that nobody allows me to go to the 13th verse for the last so many classes. I'm trying my best to reach there.
There is solid resistance. Janaki, there is solid resistance to verse number 13.
Yeah. I don't know why. Then because it's 13, you all are resisting. I don't know what it is. So quickly now, before anyone says anything. Okay, verse 12 told us, verse 11 told us, if sattva is predominating, then through all the gates of the body, wisdom shines forth. And we know the gates of the body are action, perception, emotion, thought. Through all this light, wisdom expresses itself. But if sattva is not predominating, but rajas is predominating, then now what is coming out from all the gates of the body? Greed, activity, undertaking of works, unrest, and longing. Longing means I want, I want, I want, I want. Greed means I've got, but I want more, I want more, I want more. Right? You know, the people, they'll sell their car. They've got a second-hand car. Their fellow tells them that you'll be lucky if you can sell this car for 50,000. If you're lucky, you'll get 50,000. The first buyer they meet offers them 52,000. And then what will the man say? I think I can get more. Then finally they will sell their car for 40,000. This is how a Rajasic person behaves. He's on more, and then he loses what's in hand also. So, girls, oh, I can get a better match than this. I can get a better match than this. I can get a better match than this. Now you're 45 years old. You're still thinking of getting a better match. I know.
Guys also.
Huh?
Guys also. Mostly guys in India.
Yeah, I know one person. He was, I think, what is 48 or 50. I can't remember what, 50 or finally he married somebody. And she was nowhere near all the girls that he had rejected. I mean, he was from an educated English speaking family. The girl was not educated, didn't even speak the same language. So it's like, what? Why? So, yeah, I mean, I actually know a person like that, Mamita. So, in everything, he's somehow better. Married people also think, maybe that one would have been a better choice. There's nothing better. What you have is the best for you. So, every time that Rajas props up in us, we think, oh, it's better there. You know how we are all struggling for volunteers, right? So much work, very few volunteers and all that. So one of my colleagues was telling me, you are very lucky. There's so many volunteers. So many volunteers. We are all struggling here. Each one thinks that somebody else is having a better deal somehow. That belief is called Rajas. So within that belief, then you start other things, such as you say, oh, look what I've done. I've done better than you. So I started this. I did this. This is all coming from Rajasic belief. You know, that copywriting spirit, that feeling ki mera chappa hona chahiye. It is also what makes a human being want marriage. Because you want mera chappa us par. Meri biwi hai. Tum log nahi dekho. And mera. You know, in the West and all, they Sutapa, because it is very strong, they hang on to their partners physically. Have you seen? In India, your husband will go one direction, wife goes in the other direction. Over there, so they're holding on.
Yeah, they're definitely more possessive.
Yeah, I mean, they're physically holding on. Why are they physically? Why to hold his hand? Yeah, leave him alone. How can you eat your food with hands? Somebody hold you, see a movie, you have to hold hands. You eat food, you have to hold hands. Arey, Papa, can you leave me alone? You feel like saying. The thing is, you don't feel like saying it because that copywriting spirit is there. It's all part of Rajas. So that undertaking of works, this is mine. I have to put my name on it. People give 1,000 rupee donation, they'll say, where's my name? My name should be there. Everywhere my name should be there. Then so mentally agitated. Very, very agitated. So when you are living like this, mentally very agitated, all of this shows that Rajas is predominant. Prakash? You have a question? Okay, I guess not. All right, so what happens when Rajas is what happens when Sattva is predominating? What happens when Rajas is predominating? What happens when Tamas is predominating? So that is our verse 13. Aprakasho pravrittischa Pramado moha eva cha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kuru nandana aprakasho pravrittischa pramado moha eva cha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kuru nandana. Vivruddhe kuru nandana. Vivruddhe, you remember, means predominant. So when tamas etani jayante. Amongst these, when tamas is predominant, O Kuru Nandana, O beloved of the Kurus. Kuru means the entire Kuru clan. It includes the Kauravas and the Pandavas. So obviously, Arjuna was beloved of the Kuru clan because he was a good person, a productive person. He had all the charisma of the leader. So he was somebody everybody looked up to. So why do you think he's saying Kuru Nandana now? Because though he was that person of nobility, of character, of somebody's charisma, and can you imagine this guy is all rajas and kshatriya, and I don't know, must be some very fancy type of guy. Now he's in tamas. He has collapsed. When we have too much rajas playing, that rajas converts itself to tamas. That is why with all this rajas, what is required? Because of too much rajas, you have to have, whether you like it or not, you have to have. You are muted, Deepraj. I can't hear what you're saying.
Sattva.
If you've got too much rajas, you have to have what?
A holiday.
A holiday. Very good. You cannot work 7 days a week. If you work 7 days a week, you'll collapse. Just can't do it. Need a break, Papa. Need a break. Need a break means too much rajas leads to tamas. You have to stop work. So, because not able to maintain the stability in work. Ravi Chabra. Why does Krishna address Arjuna by different names? It is a sign of affection. When you address your grandchild, you say, "Oh, my honeycomb, oh, my sweetheart, oh, my
My Shonu, my Monu,
Patakku." Huh? What?
Shonu, Monu.
Shonu, Monu, Tonu. You keep on saying, nah, it's a sign of affection. When you give the person a lot of names, it's a sign of affection. But it's very interesting why he uses a particular name at a particular time. Like this, he's saying, this is not you, O Arjuna, this state of aprakasha. Aprakasha means no prakasha, means darkness. Apravritti. Apravritti means to be inert, to not be active, to not want to do anything. This is not you. To be heedless. Heedless means not consider the result of your action. So many people hear the Bhagavad Gita that says, do not think of the fruit of action, and convert themselves to heedlessness. Oh, we are working. What does the fruit? We don't have to worry about fruit of action. Hey, Bhagwan, mera sir nahi kha. How can you not be concerned with fruit of action? Not being concerned with fruit of action is pramad, heedlessness. Oh, I'm going for a drive. We pick up actions without stopping to think what is the consequence of that action. Kar lo bhai. Anyway, we are too sattvic to have fruit of action. So he is saying pramad. Pramada means heedlessness. Heedlessness. What is heedless? I'm doing an action and I have not considered what the consequence of that action is going to be. Sutapa, would you say people with lots of rajas do not have respect for others or consideration for others? That would be true for both tamas and rajas. It needs you to be sattvic, to be graceful, to be cultured, to be sensitive, to be empathetic, to look at things from another person's point of view. That requires sattva, means it requires an intellect. Both tamas and rajas will have consideration for you when you are his friend. But if you fight, then you get thrown into the bin. Tamas is generally inconsiderate. Then, as they are very self-centered, do you think it stems from insecurity? No, I think insecurity comes from being self-centered. The more insecure a person is, the more selfish a person is, the more insecurity he experiences. When Vivekananda gets onto a boat and goes to USA, when USA was like moon to us at the moment, get there. He doesn't know he forgets also his letter at home, like whatever he had to carry. No insecurity. But we are all insecure. Kuch nahi hone wala. There are people who, like Joan of Arc, she says, I will lead the army against the British. Doesn't she feel frightened? Suppose now Bharatna says, I will lead the army on the Gaza Strip, one side or the other. Won't she get frightened? Or I will lead Ukraine against Russia or Russia against Ukraine. She get terrified, no? No, Bharatna. But Joan of Arc, I'll lead the army. Lead the army means what? You're in front of them all. Or the first arrow that comes to you. So no insecurity when a person is deeply dedicated to something greater, nobler than themselves. But the moment the concentration comes back to me, I become insecure. It could be a simple thing. Going to give a talk on stage in front of 25 people, I become insecure because my attention has come back to me. Okay. Chalo bhai, we broke the barrier to verse 13 at least. We will continue next time.
It was the verse on